Welcome to the Intuitive Websites Internet Marketing Podcast, bringing you the country's top podcast on the subject of internet marketing. I'm your host, Glenn Thayer, and today we're going to discuss Netflix.com and its place in the virtual world. I'm here today with CEO of Intuitive Websites, Thomas Young, and web marketing genius, Dennis McCarthy.
Thanks, Glenn.
Guys, let's talk about Netflix here. We have the site up, and it is, I would say, the Google of online movie rentals is about the best way as far as its simplicity and how simple it is. Tell us some things that you see from the design standpoint that really stick out for you.
Well, if you can, while you're listening to this, go to Netflix.com, and then if you're a Netflix subscriber, log out so you can look at the actual website that the rest of the world sees when they are first introduced to Netflix. And what you'll see is a website that follows most of the rules we've talked about in these podcasts. And in fact, it follows a rule that we call the 10 out of 10 person rule, which means 10 out of 10 people would understand the website, would get how they operate, and would be able to very quickly and easily move to conversion. And you would think that, well, yeah, that's common sense. Everybody can do that, and that makes sense on the web. But it's not true. The 10 out of 10 rule is broken all the time.
And it reinforces the brand perfectly. It looks exactly like the envelope you get in your mailbox, and that really is the Netflix brand.
Absolutely. And I mean, just looking at the home page and this photo of the family watching a movie, it's so obvious they're watching a movie. There's the popcorn. 10 out of 10 people would say they're watching a movie at home on their TV. And that's what you want to do. And then all the marketing, as Dennis said, the Netflix logo, the Netflix envelopes on the table, all of that ties right back into what this is about. But then it moves beyond that because you immediately say, well, I know what they're doing. This is a place where you rent movies. In fact, it's the best way to rent movies, which is their tagline, very clear and simple and direct. As you move through the site, you can see very quickly they tell you how it works, and they have a graphic that 10 out of 10 people would be able to see this and get the message communicated. This is how it works, no late fees, and then you send the movie right back.
Well, let's describe it for those people that aren't looking at it. It's basically just 5 tabs, and it is
top navigation.
It would be impossible to not know what to do on this website.
You can't get lost on the website. You can only click one page deep on the website. Every single page on the website has start your free trial. It's a free trial, so you're not going to pay for anything unless you like it. And the first link on the site, and they don't call their homepage a homepage, they call it welcome. So, I mean, they're basically assuming that who's ever on this site knows nothing about them, and they're talking at the lowest common denominator. And many websites don't do that because I think they're feeling like they're insulting someone's intelligence, but that's not how it works. It just makes the site easy for everyone, no matter what your intelligence level is.
And every website has to answer that critical question: how do I use this thing?
How does it work? And variations on that question are so important. And here you see the 1, 2, 3, 4. You see the 4-step process of how it works, and then you see the instantly on their PC, which is a new form of renting movies, and it's there where the question marks are still out there as to whether this will work or not because of bandwidth restrictions and whether or not people want to watch movies on their computer as opposed to their TV sets. But once again, it's 10 out of 10 people would look at this and say, heck, that makes perfect sense to me. I can see how this works, and I understand how it works.
Let's go back to the homepage, back to the welcome page on Netflix here. First thing that came to my mind is looking at this site. Obviously, most people know what Netflix is, or if they go into Google and type online movie rentals or just movie rentals, the first 2 things that you're going to see is Netflix and Blockbuster. Those are the 2 things. So that being said, when we look from a search engine marketing standpoint, as far as keywords are concerned and content, this website, Netflix, the homepage has very, very little content on it. If anything, it's just links.
A few bulleted items down here at the bottom. Okay, and I think the target market of this website is people that don't know who Netflix is or don't quite trust Netflix. They don't. How is this going to work? I can't walk into a store and give someone money and they give me a movie. And I think that's their marketplace.
And I think the question in people's minds, many people's minds, is which is better, Netflix or Blockbuster? And you come to Netflix and it says right there, the best way to rent movies. So.
And it's so easy to use. And once you move past the how it works and you say, okay, that's how it works, a few frequently asked questions, the nice thing about this site, too, is that it also gives you content if you want it. If you are a reader and you need to read more content and analyze things, there's a frequently asked questions section. There's plenty of content on the website.
You notice, though, that there's only about 10 frequently asked questions. And the mistake many websites make is they'll have a frequently asked questions list with 100 items on it that no one is ever going to read.
That's right. And most of the questions are around the streaming of movies, which is their new service they're offering.
They also have. Well, you speak of facts before we move on to the next thing.
Yep.
There is a place that says questions, and it has a phone number, a toll-free number you can call 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day.
So if you have a question,
where you
say,
want it to be.
How does it work? I'm sick of the computer. I don't want to deal with the computer. How do I?
That's a key point, Glenn, because you need to put things on your website. You need to place them in a way that they're aligned to the experience your user is having at the time. And so many websites have this disconnect between what the user is currently doing and the information that they need. And this site, boom, the 800 number is right next to the place where you're asking questions.
And look at the use of white space. If you're a developer or designer, there's lots of white space on these pages. And for the user, that just means I have less stuff to look at and think about. As you move along the tabs, the next tab is Browse Selection. And what Netflix has done is they have a great handle on who's renting and what are the most popular rentals. So when you get into the new releases, when you get into action and adventure, you're seeing movies that are extremely popular with online rentals. So this helps people convert immediately.
And there's in that Browse Selection, there is very little text, if anything, in there. They've got the search button, the search box that you can actually go in there and type in whatever you need. But the great thing is there's very little on that website to bog down your searching. I want to rent a movie. I don't have to go through a whole bunch of stuff. It's right there.
Given the amount of information they have to convey through this portal of the Browse the Movies,
absolutely,
it's amazing how uncluttered it is. And when you compare it with like Blockbuster, you go to the Blockbuster site and it's just you don't know where to put your eyes. On this site, the Browse Movies is clean and it's very, very clear what to do.
And look at the conversion. If you do click on a movie to see the movie page, we're clicked on a What Happens in Vegas movie here, you can see, look at the conversion points. There's one at the bottom, there's a second over on the right, and there's a third on the tab, and there's a fourth on the tab. So you've got 4 or 5 conversion points on this one page, and they're very easy to find.
And it drilled you right down to just the information you're looking for. There's not a bunch of extra stuff that you weren't looking for on there.
And it says very clearly, it's got a little rundown of what happens in Vegas. You can see the information, the quick synopsis of the movie, and right underneath that, save what happens in Vegas to your movie list. And you can click right there, and it'll update you, put it into your queue for your next movie.
Absolutely. Now, another interesting thing that they do, which I just love on this website, is they have a link that says Start Your Free Trial and on the menu system in the main navigation. And then they also have a free trial info. Because think about it. When we do user testing, how often do we hear from the skeptical person, oh, yeah, I'm sure it's a free trial. You bet it's a free trial. They just want my money. Well, for that person, you have a tab, free trial info. So we can get in here and read a little bit more about what does this mean? What does this free trial thing mean? How does that work?
And back on the Start Your Free Trial page, this is something you can apply to any website. They reinforce the value of the offer. How Netflix works is reiterated in a real nice clear display with 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're given a reason to continue filling out the form, which many websites don't bother with, and so many people exit forms at this point.
Absolutely. And so what all this translates into is the fact that Netflix is the number one online movie rental company in the world. They developed a business that a few years ago didn't exist. It's not like this was around. It's been around for 50 years. This is a brand new business model. And they have taken to extreme the idea of simplicity of use and simplicity of content. This same type of model applies to all websites. And the better you can do this, the more money that you'll make. And then if we get into a comparison with Blockbuster, now Blockbuster is a little bit different business model because they have thousands of stores and they do a combination of rentals through their store and their online. But going to the Blockbuster website, Dennis is right. Where do you go?
Well, it's convoluted, and it looks like since we just went back up on this page, the other little information slot or piece up in the right-hand corner is gone. The one
That's
that I was used
changed,
to looking at.
So and just in 2 visits to this site, they've changed their and look. Okay, terrible, absolutely terrible, ridiculous. If you refresh the Blockbuster website, you'll see that their free trial offer is changing. Now they might be doing an A/B test or something like that, but still, it's hard enough to find the free trial button anyway. Well, why would you change it?
The key difference between this and Netflix is you go to Netflix and you know exactly how much it costs to get started. $4.99, get started now. On the Blockbuster homepage, you cannot figure out, and it's just that critical information displayed clearly that makes all the difference. I was looking for reading glasses today, and one company had these big, huge labels with the magnification, and the other company had to really search, and I ended up picking the ones that were clearly labeled.
And if you look at the home page of both sites, what is Netflix featuring? Netflix is featuring the benefits of the use of their products. What is Blockbuster featuring? Blockbuster is featuring features. And we all know in sales and marketing, it's not the movie that people are buying. It's the experience of watching a movie with your family. You hope it's a good one, right? And that's obviously what this family's doing on Netflix. They're watching a movie, and it's a great moment for the family. On Blockbuster, you don't see any of that. You just see the actors. And these actors, they could turn people off. Everyone's going to have a different reaction to the actors that are showing up on this homepage. But a happy family enjoying a movie, very few people will have a negative reaction to that.
Now let's talk about the Netflix site here for a quick moment. When we're talking about content, obviously we want to try to make sure that the same messaging that we're talking about here conveys to all websites. How would somebody add content specific for optimization to optimize their website for search engines into a model similar to Netflix without going into overloading the images and any of the images with all the alt tags or anything else? How would somebody get creative?
Well, the
Netflix model.
The Netflix optimization probably comes from their massive catalog of movies. And, they have a simple 5-page website at first blush, but every single movie is an individual page title.
Right.
And that's probably where they're getting their positions. So if you have a catalog, that's a great way to optimize your site. If you have a small site and you don't happen to be in a position where you have a catalog of products or services that's big, you have to create a lot more content somehow, articles or whatever.
What I would do, that's a very good question. And let's say they didn't have the catalog that they have. And we work with a lot of companies that don't have that deep a catalog. There are places on this site where you could put tons and tons of content, but keep the overall look at the site simple.
Or keep the content to maybe a paragraph or something like that where you can bounce from there to...
Well, let's say here, instead of having a browse selection section, let's say this was a resources section.
Okay.
So you could still have the basic 5 tabs across the top, click on browse selection or resources, and instead what you see is link upon link of page upon page of newsletter, articles, PDFs, white papers, podcasts, videos. All of that can be located here in this section. And all of those pages should be indexed for the search engines. But the overall experience of using the site is very simple. But however, the depth of the content is there.
And you'd be building your credibility along the way with all those papers.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is on keep the homepage. Keep it tidy, keep it fresh. You might have a little bit of text, but really focus on your content depth further in.
That's right. Take the lesson to learn from Netflix here is the power of simplicity and how simplicity can make money for you.
And it's amazing how many people don't optimize their whole website. They don't even think about optimizing the Contact Us page, for example.
Absolutely. And
speaking of that, how would you optimize the Contact Us page?
Well, at least it should match your theme of your website, and it should be based on your keyword research like every other page on the site. Go look at some Contact Us pages from small business websites, and you'll see most of them are called Contact Us. Or they might be only the name of the company, which doesn't help them at all in terms of optimization. But if you sell widgets, your contact page should say something about widgets in the title.
What would be a good example of that?
How you'd create a widget Contact Us page. You'd say if the widget is in your brand name, you'd say ABC Widget Company, and maybe a comma, and then Contact Us, and maybe another comma, makers of the best widgets on earth, something like that.
Got it.
The interesting thing about Netflix is there is a sub-navigation system below the site. And it's almost what the Netflix people have said is, look, if you really need this information, it's on the site. But that's not our business model. Our business model is new subscribers. So we're going to put that stuff down at the bottom. If you need to find the About Us page or the Contact Us page or an affiliates, there's a whole bunch of links there. Go down below the site and find it and dig a little deeper. But what we want to do is convert people. And they've been tremendously successful at doing that.
And the tabs do, I don't know if we mentioned this, the tabs form a progression. If you move from left to right, you will be converted on this website.
That's right. And actually what happens is it's almost like the first 4 tabs are the progression. And then the 5th tab is you have an objection. Well, let's deal with the objection,
right.
Which is it's a standard sales model.
So the whole structure of the website is a sales process.
That's right. You say, here's our overview of what we're about in the welcome page. The how it works will give you more detail. If you want to see our products, here you go. Go to Browse Selection, see our products. Okay, now you're ready to start your free trial.
And if you're still not convinced?
If you're not convinced and you have some objections, we'll give you one more page of, look, this is really how it works, and give us a call if you need to talk to a live person and feel safer about what you're doing. The other thing, too, is there's the model, the pricing model would lead to very few objections because we're talking $5.
It's the price of a latte from Starbucks.
That's the price of a latte from Starbucks. And what's the worst that could go wrong? And at this point, with the brand name recognition, I think most people would feel okay with their credit card, giving their credit card number on Netflix. But yeah, there's still a substantial amount of web users that won't do that. And I don't know if they can deal with that on the phone or how they handle that issue.
One of the things that Blockbuster was doing, go back to the Blockbuster page for a quick moment here. One of the things they were touting, and hit refresh one more time so we can get back to that other page. Once again, yes, we're on the Blockbuster site and we have to refresh.
We have to refresh so we see the
so
version
we can see the version that we're looking for.
And now it's not coming back. So
there it is. There's a little blurb in that top right hand corner that says now accepting PayPal for online subscriptions.
Interesting.
So it might be a different model that they've got. However, even though they're saying, hey, we take PayPal now, it's really not publicized. Because if you weren't looking for that or knew what you were looking for, you would have never seen it.
Absolutely.
Or anywhere. It's like, can I use PayPal for Blockbuster?
The other part of Netflix, which is interesting, we won't go through all this, but if you do start your free trial, the forms that you complete are very intuitive, very easy to follow. They use continue as a button title, which 10 out of 10 people would understand what continue means. You don't want to use other.
And by using continue, they can afford to have a 3-field form that doesn't intimidate people.
That's right. So it's pretty easy and quick to sign up. You do have to give them your credit card number for the free trial, but if you're not happy, you have to cancel it. The worst thing that could happen is you're charged $5, and you have 3 movies you can watch.
And that's a key for any website as well, to have some sort of low-risk offer that people who don't want to fully engage with you yet can partially engage with you.
They also have a great way of sending somebody a gift, a Netflix gift. And in fact, this is how I was introduced to Netflix years ago. As a friend of mine sent me an email saying, here's a gift of Netflix. And you can actually send a Netflix gift, or you can send the free offer to someone. I sent the free offer to my brother. He signed up for Netflix. I said, hey, try this out, Dave. You get it free for a month. And he signed up. So it's a great way to do the kind of affiliate marketing.
Well, that makes it really simple. Well, we end each one of our podcasts that we have here with an action item plan. Now, we were talking really simplicity is key.
Absolutely.
So what are the key action items for our listeners?
Well, number one is take a look at your website. How can you strip off everything from the website that is not needed, that users don't use, they don't look at? Look at your stats. The pages that no one's clicking on, get those off the main navigation and focus on the key issues of the user. If you can do that and simplify your website, you will make more money from your website. Have an obvious sales funnel. 10 out of 10 people should be able to look at the website and say, that's what I need to see, and that's how I need to contact them to move forward. And really spend some time on the Netflix site and learn from their simplicity.
And I'd like to add, if you have a large catalog, look at Netflix for a way to look at a large catalog of information. It's 2 clicks deep to see pretty much everything.
Absolutely.
It's clean as it can be.
Well, you heard it, folks. This has been the Intuitive Websites Internet Marketing Podcast, and for more information and to see all the available podcasts and much more, visit intuitivewebsites.com.